Hello everyone. NATO Plus is a security agreement that includes 31 official members and 5 associate countries: Japan, South Korea, New Zealand, Australia and Israel. Its purpose is to enhance defense cooperation and protect each other in case of external enemy attacks. Despite being large and powerful, the United States still feels insecure in a possible war with China in the future. Therefore, in May, they met and agreed to invite India to join NATO Plus. However, the proposal was immediately rejected. India's Foreign Minister Jaishankar declared that NATO is not suitable for us. What are the reasons behind this? Let's get straight to the issue. India is a country that does not like conflict. They gained independence from the United Kingdom in 1947 through a non-violent struggle and civil disobedience. Soon after, they were courted by both the United States and the Soviet Union, who were ready to pump money, diplomatic support and provide large quantities of weapons. However, India under Prime Minister Nehru refused. He argued that joining a military alliance would mean that India would be dragged into stupid global conflicts that had nothing to do with them. Therefore, peace and stability were paramount. This would help the economy grow in the long term. This idea was proven right. By following a neutral path, India enjoyed a peaceful atmosphere and significant economic benefits from the competition between the US and the Soviet Union. At the same time, stability also gave them an advantage, helping foreign investors feel confident to invest without fear of losing money due to conflicts. And today, India can comfortably enjoy huge trade deals with China, the United States, Russia, the Middle East and Europe. From a country that was not in the top 10, by 2022 they had surpassed the United Kingdom to become the 5th largest economy in the world. Therefore, the Indian government has a belief that has been reinforced over time: non-alignment still works well. So what reasons did the US find to persuade India to join NATO? First, India is the largest democracy in the world and naturally they should stand on the same side with the United States. Statements like this have been repeated since President Roosevelt's time in World War II to Joe Biden's time today. And as always, India does not consider this as a basis for cooperation. They only care about national interests above all else. There is something very difficult to understand. While the US praises India's democracy and wants to cooperate, they also always find non-democratic points to criticize. According to reports from White House officials, the current government of Prime Minister Narendra Modi has witnessed an increase in violence against the Muslim minority community. They focus on Hindu nationalism and often attack opposition figures. For example, the government imposed a complete ban on BBC in 2023. Narendra Modi used his relationship with Washington for the purpose of polishing his fake democratic reputation while his true values plummeted uncontrollably. Such descriptions made India very uncomfortable. So when President Biden reiterated that the foundation of relations between the two countries was based on democratic values, was it realistic? The second persuasive reason: joining NATO, India will have a strong defensive shield against China's potential aggression and protect their dominance in the Indian Ocean Pacific region. It is unclear who came up with this reason to persuade them. It lacks realism because the Indian government does not believe that China will dare to invade across the border guarded by the high and desolate Himalayas. According to them, disputes only stop at small-scale conflicts that can be controlled. For the Indian Ocean Pacific region, India is also confident that domination is within reach. When China drew up its Pearl Necklace strategy with a system of ports and railways creating an encirclement situation, India simply countered by implementing its Diamond Necklace strategy with a series of military ports around itself while maintaining a special relationship with countries around China. Basically, they are the ones who have the upper hand when they can block Beijing's route to the Indian Ocean through Malacca. Another important thing: although there are territorial disputes and competition for influence with China, India still wants to maintain a strong business relationship with this country. They are both members of BRICS and Shanghai Cooperation Organization, two economic groups led by Beijing. It's easy to understand why. Nowadays China has a lot of money and is India's largest trading partner. The third persuasive reason: if they join NATO, they will be allowed access to modern weapons and military technology from the organization, mainly from the US. This is a highly attractive and very subtle leverage point. In January 2023, the US and India signed an agreement on critical and emerging technologies aimed at exchanging cooperation in defense and trade fields. Accordingly, An important contract worth billions of dollars was born. The US will transfer F-414 jet engine technology to India. They will power all indigenous fighter jets including HAL Tejas Mk2, TADBF multirole fighter. This is an agreement that India has long desired and dreamed of. However, transferring 100% of technology to a country that is not an ally is difficult. US officials had to meet until they were old to make a decision. Suppose advanced technology is transferred smoothly, India will think, why join an alliance when we can get what we want? So joining NATO is unnecessary and tiring. Therefore, the US will certainly use military technology leverage to pull them to their side. However, no matter how delicious the cake is, India will probably let it dry out. They are afraid of offending Russia, an important partner that has been tested for decades. If India turns its back on Russia, then of course the huge amount of weapons they have bought will not be able to find a place to supply spare parts. In addition, a consequence that will be detrimental to all sides. When India becomes part of the West, logically they have to stand on the same line to support Ukraine and become an enemy of Russia that cannot coexist. Moreover, NATO's possible military bases on its territory will cause insecurity for both China and Pakistan. To defend themselves, these three guys may join forces to form a military alliance against their common enemy, then India inadvertently turns threats into risks. So it's best not to associate with anyone. For those reasons, no matter what kind of cake the US offers to invite India, they will not dare to eat it. So we don't need to discuss further. The maximum limit that India can cooperate is to join the Quad group with the US, Japan and Australia, aiming to contain China's expansion in the Indian Ocean region. They have been very smart, only doing what is related to their interests. As for the US wanting to drag them into bigger conflicts like the Taiwan issue, they actively avoid it from afar. Therefore, the United States can only be satisfied with the current cooperation. After all, India is also a wall that prevents China from expanding its influence to the Indian Ocean region. That's good enough. What do you think about India's direction? Is it reasonable or not? Let's discuss together. Thank you for watching the video. Goodbye and see you again.